What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video from the 10-7 MMA channel. And this is my UFC 316 post-fight, post-card reaction. And there are three fights in particular from the main event that I want to touch upon that I thought were really impressive, that blew me away. And I would say, well, one of the three definitely caught me by surprise, despite what most people were predicting. Most people were predicting Kevin Holland to beat Vicente Luque. I actually was thinking Vicente Luque was going to get the job done, and how Kevin did it, the way he got the job done, I was very impressed. We have two other fights that I want to talk about as well, the co-main as well as the main event. We're going to start right off the cuff with Kevin Holland dominating Vicente Luque. And by the way, of the three, I would say probably the co-main was... Now, the co-main and the main were both incredible. I guess I just wanted a particular outcome in the main event that didn't happen, but it was still an incredible outcome. All right, let's talk about this first. Kevin Holland is a very interesting character. I was going to do a video earlier today about the presser and about people asking him about Rampage Jackson, how he got upset and he stormed off the presser. And I thought that was actually a bad sign. I also know that Vicente Luque has traditionally been such a tremendous fighter and such a strong presence in the welterweight division. So I just felt as though he was going to get the job done, even though a lot of people were picking Kevin Holland. And I was absolutely wrong. I think Kevin Holland showed his athleticism. I mean, my God, I know he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but he actually showed that by getting a submission against Vicente Luque, which I thought was incredible. And Kevin Holland really seems to be taking the sport way more seriously now. And he even said so much during the post-fight interview. I can't remember. He called out Colby Covington. What a call out, to just put icing on the cake. A great victory. I thought he showed some really good striking, and then getting that submission via his, again, black belt in jiu-jitsu with a great submission and winning the fight that way. I thought it was just all around a tremendous performance. Now he's getting serious. I think Colby Covington is a great call out. I don't know if Colby's going to take that fight, because I feel like Colby's ducking everybody at this point. He doesn't want to fight Ian Gary, even though he talked all this negative stuff about him. He's then talking about like Nick Diaz and really bizarre fights like that. So I don't know. I think, unfortunately, even if the UFC tries to put the pressure on Colby, I think just Colby won't do it at this point. It seems like Colby has like a very specific set of opponents in mind for what I believe will be his last fight. But anyways, this is not about Colby. This is about Kevin Holland. And as much as Kevin Holland turned a lot of people off during that Rampage Jackson podcast, the Jackson Pod interview, the 45-70 debacle, etc., we have to be honest. And the honest truth is that he's exciting and he's fun and he talks a lot, and his fight style is fun. He's exciting. He's got good striking. We see now that he's got some good grappling, and he's focused and he's training the right way. I think a lot of the commentators have said many times that Kevin Holland is a tremendously talented fighter with great potential. And it seems like now he's really turning it on and dialing it in. So this is a very exciting journey, I think, to go along and follow Kevin Holland's ride from here on forward. People at one time, he had 5 victories in 1 year, 5 in a row. People were talking really, really positively about Kevin Holland. Maybe some of that will come back. Maybe he has matured as a fighter, as a person. And we shall see. So it's exciting. I think this is great for the welterweight division. Now he's in the mix. Curious to see where he gets ranked on Tuesday. But anyways, great performance, great job. And this was a really awesome fight. Now we're going to move on to the next fight. This might be my favorite fight of the night. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But Kayla Harrison is the one. I picked Kayla Harrison to win. Wish I would have bet on her, but the odds were so in favor of her. I think you bet like $100, you win like $20 or something ridiculous. I maybe less, maybe $10. I don't know. She was extremely, extremely heavily favored. And this fight showed why. She said during the buildup, during the press conference on Thursday, I think that Julianna Peña said, well, what are you going to do? You're just going to lay on me the whole time and do this, and that's how you're going to win, and something like that. And Kayla said, well, Julianna, you're thinking of a way that I'm going to beat you. I can't think of what's the one way you're even going to beat me? You're even going to have a chance. And Kayla is not one to exaggerate, not one to lie, not one to say random things that don't have meaning. She is, I think, a person of integrity, a person of honor, a person of truth. And this is why she is so beloved by the MMA community. And she meant what she said, because literally, I don't think Julianna, I don't even remember a single moment of success. I feel like Kayla was so dominant, so smothering. She had an edge everywhere. When she, got her down, I think the only answer that Julianna had was an illegal kick to the head to a grounded opponent with those up kicks. And I think Kayla said she was even afraid that at one point that, hey, was her nose damaged or broken or something like that? But then she realized she was fine. They reset. They should have. I'm so glad, by the way. Oh, we got to talk about this. The ref took a point. Finally, the right thing is happening for an egregious penalty like that. That's a clear violation, a clear foul. What is the point of giving them a warning? You know it's illegal from the get-go. It's causing damage. It's slowing down the fight. It took her out of that position where Kayla was dominating. Also, the commentators made the point of why didn't they reset them in that same position? But at least they took a point. I was very happy about that. So I think she ended up with like a 10-8 round in the first round, making it very, very difficult for Julianna to have any chance. But it didn't matter anyways, because Julianna was just so outclassed. And this is why, obviously, Julianna didn't want to fight her. Like, we all knew it. But Julianna was trying to obviously paint a different narrative, as she does, which I'm happy she did that, because I felt like it brought a lot of heat and a lot of fire and anticipation to this fight. But man, Kayla just showed up and showed out in such dominant fashion that it's just exciting. It's just so exciting to have somebody like her with that awesome personality, with that awesome self-belief, with that amazing pedigree, being an Olympic gold medalist, just absolutely dominating. It's so fun to see somebody like that at the helm, at the top of the division. And on top of that, okay, so she goes in, she gets the victory. What was the submission that she had again? I can't remember how she got the job done. I'm totally blanking. Hold on, I'm going to Google this right now. What was it? The submission? Kayla Harrison, Julianna Peña submission. Hold on, I'm like totally blanking. What was it? How did she get her? All right, give me 1 second. They said she submits, but how? What was the submission? Oh, yeah. That's right. It was a what's it called? She had her arm behind her. It's so late here. It's like 1:45 a.m. What's the Kimura, right? Was it a Kimura? Hold on, let me just double check. That's what I'm looking at from this image right here. It looks like she got a Kimura. That's what I want to say. I'm pretty sure it was a Kimura. But anyways, she got the submission regardless. It was phenomenal and just pure, like there were like literally Julianna had absolutely nothing. And this is why the odds were the way they were. Odds makers were correct. And Kayla Harrison, phenomenal. So happy to have her as the women's champion and maybe the women's GOAT, because even cooler is now she called out Amanda Nunes immediately after the fight. Amanda came in, they squared off, they talked very respectfully. They're going to have the fight. Who knows when? Will it be in 3 months? Will it be in probably not 3 months, but maybe, I don't think Kayla took any damage, but she had a very tough weight cut. She even said in her post-fight speech that she wanted to give up on Thursday. There was moments where she wanted to give up, and she's like, the only way to get that last pound off was God. She had to submit. It was very, very difficult. So she might need time to recover just from the weight cut, not from the fight itself, because as I mentioned, I think she took basically no damage except for those illegal up kicks. So anyways, massive congratulations to Kayla. Let's see when I'm happy whenever this fight happens. It can happen in December, January 2026. I don't care, but it's going to be huge. They're going to be main eventing, I'm pretty sure, because that would make sense. This is such a big buildup, such a cool fight. They used to train at the same gym. I think they have some bad blood, but I feel like they're going to be respectful, which I'm totally fine with. We don't need any heat. We don't need any rivalry. We just need to see competition, the best versus the best. May the best woman win. Let's go. What an incredible fight. And this just made me so happy to see that result. All right, now we're moving on to the final fight. Moving on to Sean O'Malley versus Merab. Now, I made it no secret on this channel. I was definitely pulling for Sean O'Malley. I'm a big fan of Sean O'Malley. I think it would have been tremendous if he won. And I put money on him. Well, that money is gone, and it is what it is. That's how it goes when you make bets like this. But let me start by talking about Sean, and then obviously I have to talk about Merab, because, man, what a legend, what a G. And I did say at the beginning, too, the beauty of this fight is even if the guy that I'm pulling for, that I'm rooting for, doesn't come away with the victory, it's a cool outcome regardless, because this, I think, is now really starting to cement Merab's legacy as the greatest bantamweight of all time. Justin already said it before this victory, and now I think it's getting cemented even more so. We'll see what happens when he fights Corey Sandhagen, but I think people are already saying Joe Rogan, Justin James, a lot of folks are already calling Merab the GOAT of the bantamweight division. We're going to come back to that. But let me talk about Sean first, because I talked a lot about Sean's labrum injury and what he would look like coming out into this fight. I gotta say, I mean, I think I was right on that front, man. Immediately in the first round, throwing spinning back kick, landing. I called it too. That was the first strike, I believe, that landed. He was definitely throwing a greater variety of strikes. Had way better footwork, way better movement. Really staying away from Merab, doing great with the takedown defense. I mean, rounds 1 and 2, even though he may have lost those rounds on the judges' scorecard, I thought it was a tremendous performance, and he was getting some shots to land. So to me, it didn't matter that he was down on the judges' scorecards. To me, what mattered was he was able to fight off the takedowns and stay on his feet long enough to land some heavy shots, because I felt like it was still a good potential that he could get that knockout or that victory with well-positioned shots and good footwork and good movement. But unfortunately, what happened in round 3 was, I think, what a lot of people felt was going to happen eventually, as the fighters got more, as Sean got more and more tired. Eventually, Merab was going to be able to take over. Okay, now let me talk about Merab. Now, the thing that I really focused on during the buildup of this fight was Sean's going to be a different fighter. It's going to be a different fight. He's going to come out way better. What I neglected to acknowledge, whether intentionally or unintentionally, was how much better is Merab going to be getting from their last fight. And I think that was the key. Merab got some. The commentators were mentioning it as well, but you could see his boxing and striking, I think, looked improved. And maybe it was already that good before, and we just didn't really get to see it showcased. But he spent a lot of time on his feet and did some great work with his hands, even throwing up some good kicks as well. That submission game was, I don't think, as effective at all as the first fight during rounds 1 and 2. I'd have to go back and rewatch the first fight to make sure of that, but I don't think he was having that same dominance. But then round 2, maybe Sean was tired. I don't know what exactly was going on, but he got him down, and he got him down early, I think with like 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the fight. I knew that was going to be problematic. What I did not anticipate, and this was part of the foundation of my argument as to why I thought Sean could pull it off, is he went for a submission. I don't remember the last time he went for a submission like this, but he went for it and he got it and he tapped Sean. And I mean, it was beautiful. It was incredible. And if you think about the fact that he was probably already up 2 rounds, got him down early, worked his positioning, got that submission, just cranked on it, and boom, made Sean O'Malley tap. I mean, the whole thing was absolutely phenomenal. So we have to give Merab so much credit. Did he already have this submission in the back pocket? Is this something he has trained aggressively after the last Sean O'Malley fight, after the last Umar fight? I don't know. But one thing that Jesse on Fire was telling me via text tonight, we were talking, me, him, and Justin, is with a lot of these guys with really tremendous grappling like Merab, if you can not try and learn and perfect a multitude of submissions, but instead work on maybe 1 or 2 that you find yourself in routinely where you're able to get it. If you just work on that and perfect it, that's the most, at least in Jesse's opinion, that's a very, very dangerous skill to develop, even if it's a singular skill. But because of your dominance in grappling and wrestling, it's going to prove really effective. And it looks like that's exactly what took place. He got it. And I don't know what it's wild, because now he's going to fight Corey Sandhagen, who's another fighter that I truly, truly love to watch fight. Very exciting, very intelligent, and obviously amazing striking, as we know, but great on the ground as well. Did some great work against Davison Figueiredo with that 50-50 position or whatever he called it. And he got the victory quite soundly. But I don't know what's going to happen when he fights Merab. Can Merab even be stopped at this point when he's at his peak physical shape, peak cardio? His skill set seems to be improving even more so. I mean, he just looks like, I mean, he's a machine. He looks like a machine, an indestructible, unstoppable machine. So I don't know. But I will tell you this. I'm very excited to finally see Corey Sandhagen get his due credit and get his title shot, and up against Merab, who's now the greatest bantamweight of all time. I mean, it's going to be a fun fight no matter what happens again. But at this point, as much of a fan of I mean, it's a fight where you can't lose as a fan. If Corey Sandhagen pulls it off, he's such a fun fighter and an exciting fighter, great personality. He's going to be an awesome champion. And if Merab keeps the train moving, that's also exciting, because I think that most fans like me, we love to see dominance. We love to see these legacies being built, and we love to see somebody like Merab pull off what seemingly is impossible, to have this long reign in the bantamweight division. So yeah, all around, even though it wasn't the outcome I wanted in the title fight, I thought it was a really good title fight. I thought Sean O'Malley looked really, really good, really sharp. I could tell he sounded devastated at the loss, but what a legend to stay in the cage and still speak to the fans. I don't know. It's a bummer, but it's also a great outcome as well, in terms of, I'm a fan of Merab too. I'm just a bigger fan of Sean O'Malley, and that's all it is. This does lead to the question of what's going to be next for Sean O'Malley. That's the really sad part. They were saying on the broadcast maybe he's now going to fight Umar. I mean, is that yeah, like that? I guess that makes sense. It doesn't excite me a ton. I wonder. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he wants to be champion again. While Merab's at the helm, I don't think he's getting another title shot anytime soon unless Merab bounces. Is he going to stick around in bantamweight on the hopes that like maybe he loses the Sandhagen, or he loses at some point down the line and then he can slide back in? I don't know. I'd have to really think about it and think about the landscape of the bantamweight division as well as the featherweight division. I'm just speaking off the top of my head right now, but as of today, I feel like he's going to move up to featherweight, and he's going to give that division a shot. That'll be fresh. That'll be exciting. He's got a lot of cool contenders to fight on his way up to maybe fighting Volkanovski or whoever has the belt at the time that he makes it up there. I feel like, and also because he's such a star, I feel like if he goes in and gets one good fight and one good victory, he might be able to slide right in for a title fight. That'd be dope. And then Sean O'Malley can take a crack at trying to be a double champ. And I don't care about this double champ. Oh, it has to be simultaneous. I think that's it's irrelevant to me. Actually, I think it's kind of BS, not to go off on a tangent, but if you are the lightweight champ, let's say, and you move up and you're fighting for the welterweight strap, at that current moment in time, you are not a lightweight. So it's all just made up. They're letting you hold on to the title, but you can't be in the lightweight division when you're fighting in welterweight. At least that's how I see it. So to me, simultaneous or not, it's still just as prestigious, in my opinion. And the product of you holding it simultaneously is only a function of the fact that the UFC is allowing you to do such a thing. But I don't even think they should be allowing you to do it, because let's keep the divisions moving. And if you want to go back and reclaim it again, you have the freedom to do that. But I feel like that makes a lot more sense in my mind. Anyways, my point is, for Sean to go up and fight in featherweight and chase double champ status, I think would be really cool. And I think it makes a lot of sense. But we shall see what happens. Obviously, I'm going to support it no matter what. I just want to see Sean O'Malley back there, because I think we can all agree, regardless of the hair and the antics and the tattoos and all that stuff, his fight style is super, super fun. He doesn't back down. He throws a really wide array of diverse and pinpoint accurate strikes. He's a blast to watch. So let's see what happens. And Merab, what a G, what a legend. I know Justin's such a big fan. Now he's going to fight Corey Sandhagen. Can't wait for that fight. All right, guys, that's it for the recap and the reaction. I'm very tired because it was a late night and just finally got the chance now. It's closing in at 2 a.m. here in LA, but I want to make this video and get it out ASAP. Overall, I'm very happy with the card. Really enjoyed it. Loved the co-main event. Was so happy for that outcome. Even though I was initially bummed, I did enjoy the main event, and props to Kevin Holland. That's it. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we will see you in the next video. Take it easy.